But if you're going in and you're in and out in 30 minutes, you're likely selling yourself short in terms of what you can do.
I see a lot of people who have the amount of time that they spend in the gym. It's kind of like their badge of honor.
And the last and final question for today is, how long should a workout be? So I think the simplest answer is as long as it takes. But if we're saying an optimal workout, I try not to be too obsessed on the time of it. I try to have a flow and a cadence. And I think one of the best things you can do is have an understanding of your general volume in terms of sets. This isn't always a perfect metric because I could do 10 sets of curls and that wouldn't even come close to adding up to 3 sets of squats in terms of fatigue, time, difficulty. But as a general rule of thumb, you can start to look at like on average, how many sets am I doing in my workout? So if you're newer, you might be doing quite simply like 12. That'd be 4 exercises of 3 sets. If you're someone who's more experienced, and even for me, when I'm doing more accessory work, sometimes I'll do 20 sets, sometimes I'll do 25 sets. It really just depends. But in general, I think if I had to quantify an appropriate amount of time, I would say 45 to 90 minutes is like my golden zone. I think some people have a great ability to withstand volume. They have a lot of time. They love the gym and they don't mind being in there 2 hours. That is totally okay. For me, I've tried really pushing my volume. I ended up finding that I did a lot of junk volume. I wasn't able to push myself as much as I want. It fatigued my interest in the gym. And I find for me, I do best at the 75-minute mark because I can really push myself. I can bring a great intensity. I'm not overextending myself. And it still leaves me excited to lift the next day. So there's so many factors at play here and so much to consider. But if you're going in and you're in and out in 30 minutes, you're likely selling yourself short in terms of what you can do. Even hour is a solid mark as well. And I think it's really also relevant to your goals, because if you have massive cardiovascular goals and you want to just do some lifting to support function, you could absolutely get away with lifting like 30 minutes 5 days a week, right? Like that's where with most things the answer truly is always it depends. Science has shown the more volume you can handle at a good intensity, obviously the more muscle you can put on, but you also need to be able to recover from that. And some people recover better, some people recover worse. So that's where there's so many considerations at play here. And like duration also doesn't encompass how long you're resting. It doesn't encompass how advanced you are. Is there a lot of learning going on? So you're doing a lot of warming up. So it's such a tough one, right? And that's where for me, obviously my clients, I give them the volume they need. We progressively aim to improve that and increase that as they want to put on more muscle. But in general, it'll kind of take the time it takes. I've had clients say, hey, like I have more time in the gym. I feel like I can handle more volume and we can absolutely make that adjustment. I've had other clients that are like, I feel like I'm spending too much time there. It's not realistic for me and I want to actually make sure I continue to show up. Can we adjust this? And of course, we can cut out some fluff. If you have very limited time, do you need to be doing bicep curls? Not necessarily. You're going to be getting a lot of bicep involvement from rows, from pull downs. It's going to be a great accessory movement. So that's where, like, unless your goal is to have massive biceps, you want to be more strategic. You don't want to be wasting time on more junky, basic volume kind of like really narrowed in hypertrophy movements. Instead, you want to be focusing on big compounds. Like if someone has very limited time, they're going to be doing big, meaty, hard workouts, right? Because they're going to be able to handle that. They only have a small amount of time. And I think people get the two confused, because if you have 30 minutes and Kyle goes in and does heavy squats and deadlifts, and I go in, I do adductor, abductor, assisted pull-up, like his work is going to be way, way better than me. He's going to see way better results.
Yeah. And what I love about our 75-minute mark is we've tried a lot of things, believe me. Like we've done shorter, we've done definitely way longer. And I remember when I was like first in the gym, like you couldn't make me leave. Like you'd have to just tell me it's closing for me to leave. But now after doing it for a long time, it's really about what can we sustainably do, right? Like obviously having done it for so long, there's only like, I love the gym, but I don't want to be there all day, right? And so that 75-minute mark to me is perfect, right? It's like when I look down, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Yesterday I was there a bit longer, like probably 90-ish minutes. And, I was working out with a friend. I did like a longer warm up waiting and then just showing them some new exercises. And I definitely started to feel, I was like, man, I'm feeling a little antsy here. Like at the end, I was like, I kind of want to go, right? Because I'm just not used to it. And I really like anywhere between 60 and 75 minutes. But the real answer is it honestly depends. And this is where even Josh and myself, like we have absolutely mastered like every single workout scenario because everyone is so different, right? Like, and even when I sit down and look at a client, it depends on like so many factors, like anywhere between 6 to 8 different factors between the time frame, between the stuff you have access to. Like even you have to consider your warm-ups, right? And this is where it's so different because someone could be in there and they say, "Hey, I'm there for 2 hours," but they do like tons of foam rolling in there, doing tons of cardio, and like they're doing tons of abs. Like it's so different. And even with that, like you also want to make sure you're using your time wisely. Like honestly, workout structure is a very important thing, but I will say like you don't need to be doing a 25-minute stair stepper before, and you honestly shouldn't, but before like a leg day. Like to me, a good 5 minutes, on a bike, on a, incline walk, whatever, do like one or two mobility movements and like boom, you're good to go. Right. But I see a lot of people who have the amount of time that they spend in the gym. It's kind of like their badge of honor. They're just like, well, like I know some dudes that are there like 3 hours, and it's very different. Like they say, hey, I'm there all day, and like they hit the sauna a ton, and they like shave, and then they just like will go hit the cold plunge. And so, I know that's not exactly how long a workout is, but like that's how long they're there for. And I just think it really has to make sense for you. And honestly, what Josh was saying about adjusting is I've spent so much time adjusting my clients' workouts, because if I give them a routine that I love, that's an hour 15, but they're like, dude, like it's my lunch break and I only have from here to here, I will make it work for you. I will spend time to make sure you're doing the right amount of volume, the right amount of exercises. I'll cut the glutes kickbacks that I love, but I'm going to probably just, not do, because I have you doing hip thrusts, because I have you doing Bulgarians, because I have you doing some heavy deadlifts. I'll make those adjustments. And then, it really depends, right? Because even some people who have kids that they have to attend to, and, they're just like, hey, I'm on, baby duty. I got to make this work. It just needs to fit your lifestyle. And if you can just show up consistently, that's really what's going to matter. So it's a fantastic question. Obviously, like I said, it depends, but it's definitely something to consider.